What's up, you guys? Justin and Michelle coming to you with Market Watch Wednesday.
First one in August.
Yeah. So I wanted to give you some credit. So for those that you don't know, I have a nickname for this guy, and it is the real estate Rain Man. He's like the expert at predicting stuff before it happens. So Justin, back in March, you kind of said that rates were gonna go up, and you were right. A lot of people didn't believe us. You also said that prices were going to go down. And again, a lot of people didn't believe us. And I actually think I did a TikTok on it and got a lot of comments saying that wasn't gonna happen. But since you're so accurate with this stuff,
Yes.
You're kind of changing your tune again with this. So can you kind of tell everybody why you're changing your tune, what you think about that?
Yeah, so as you guys know, last week the Federal Reserve met, they decided to raise interest rates 0.75%. Now, this is the cost that the banks have to pay to borrow money to then lend to you guys. So usually those kind of coincide.
Yeah.
But that's why we say usually, because an anomaly happened last week that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
No one saw coming.
Yeah.
And that was interest rates actually went down after the announcement.
Yes.
And they didn't just go down a little bit. They went down quite a bit. At one point, they were close to the mid fours.
Wow.
Talking 4.5.
Lowest they've been in 3 months.
Yes. And so, as you guys know, the problem that we saw in March, April, May, June coming was just simply buyers being outpriced.
Yeah.
We had the demand. People needed the homes. They don't want to pay rent, but the problem was the rates were just too high.
Yeah.
It just wasn't affordable. It just wasn't sustainable. And so naturally prices are going to go down when buyers now have to back out and can't qualify. Well, we and for the last several weeks, you and I have been telling people, like, be smart about buying, like take your time, lowball sellers, make sure you get a good deal.
Yes.
And then last week you talked about how this is the crash that people were expecting. And essentially, what were we saying by that crash, that the crash is here?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of people say, the market's gonna crash, the market's gonna crash. And you know what? Everybody who said that was right, but there's one key element to that. Right now, what we're seeing right now, this is the crash. And if anything, as a realtor, I wouldn't even really call it a crash if you compare it to 2008.
Yeah, basically it's the correction.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity to get a good deal. It is the crash that we've all been waiting for, though. We're not going to say that it's not. This is it, though.
Yep.
And once inflation gets under control, interest rates will go even lower. And once that happens, we are going to see what we saw in 2021 again. Bidding wars. Buyers are going to be able to afford stuff again, so they're going to be out there bidding. And this little window of opportunity, the crash, is going to be gone.
Yeah.
So.
And I think that's important for people to know the context of that, because for the last several weeks, we've been telling people that prices are going down. We predicted they would go down by 10%. That's what we've seen in most price ranges, except for the lower end starter price range. And so I don't want people to be confused. The reason this update is happening because rates have dropped.
Yes.
If interest rates go back up to 6%, yes, we will crash farther. We will correct farther.
Yes.
However, you and I, our overall prediction that we did several months ago, we were saying that we felt like interest rates would go down around election time, October and November.
Yes, we did. We did say that.
We still think that's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
But the fact that we saw mid fours is basically, to me, helping us change our new prediction to say, look, if they're mid fours, high fours, when it comes election time, they might be down to the low fours or high threes. And that, to me, is kind of the key number, you guys. If it gets to the low fours or high threes, that's when everybody and their dog,
the floodgates will open.
Yes, they're going to start coming back in the market. Simply one, because now they can come back in the market. 60% of buyers out there were literally priced out. They simply couldn't get the loan anymore. So the majority of those 60% are going to come back, right? And now all the people that wanted to kind of upgrade, when you're locked in, Michelle, at like 3.25%, 3% on your current home,
Yeah.
it's hard to sell and go
for
take on a
sure.
5%.
For sure. Yeah.
But if you trade your 3.25 for 3.75 or 4.0, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And considering that move up house has dropped 60, 70, 80, $90,000 from what you would have paid in April,
That's a perfect storm
Yes.
for a crazy year.
the perfect storm. So what we are telling you is any buyer out there needs to be prepared.
For sure. And take advantage of this opportunity if you can.
Yes, because maybe prices are still a little bit stagnant for a month or two. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe we start seeing these rates low enough that they start getting eaten up again. So let's talk, let's chat, let's game plan.
Yeah.
Because that moment will hit where
Yeah.
low rates equal the price drops that we've already seen.
Yeah.
The floodgates open, and if you're not prepared, if you're not ready, if you're not consulting, if you're not getting the data, you're gonna be too late.
For sure.
You're gonna wish you would have bought on the low,
Yeah, the
which
crash,
is like
yeah.
which is like everybody's goal. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy on the low, I'm gonna buy on the low.
Yeah.
We'll freaking buy on the low because we
is the
know
low. Yeah.
when it's going to happen. We can't predict
Yeah.
everything because rates can go up, rates can go down, but it's getting closer.
Yeah.
It's getting closer. So be prepared, listen, and when the time is right, you've got to be ready to pounce.
Exactly. Like and subscribe to follow us, everything real estate and economy related.
See ya.